We all love dollar stores, right? But I was wondering if you could actually get 30 bucks worth of stuff at the dollar store that would save your life. So today we're gonna build a survival kit out of stuff solely from the dollar store. So let's get into it. All right, vanilla, you'll see why. Fire, water, shelter, food, light. Let's see. They didn't have any kind of emergency blankets or anything, but I'm gonna end up making an emergency blanket. They had these like heat and cold bags. I figured I could cut those up, use some tape that they had. We've got a tarp here. We've got a round tablecloth. That'll be like maybe a poncho if I need one, or I'll use it for something else. Got some twine, a little bit of food options here. Dr. Pepper beef jerky. I've never tried this. I gotta see if it's any good. Flashlight, fire, some twine just in case, something I can boil water in, a first aid kit, and a knife. That makes 18 items. It ended up being 1.66 cents per item, or $29.88. All right, so we're just under that $30 mark, but that means I couldn't buy a bag to put it all in. So I think what I'm gonna do is use this as a bag, and I'm just gonna make this when we get there. I'm also gonna have my backpack as a camera bag, so I'm not cheating though. There's nothing in there other than just camera stuff, and this is what I'm gonna be surviving with. All right, we got all packed in here. So after tax and everything out the door, $31.54, just a tiny bit over my $30 budget there. But I did get this bottle specifically for the shape and because of how, you know, clear it is, see-through it is. This will be helpful for us later. I'm gonna build a little filter and we're gonna do some stuff like that because I have water, but we need to be able to get more water in a survival situation. So let's do this. All right, we made it to a campground area. I wanna make sure that we're doing everything legally. So I'm gonna stay in an area that I can legally have a small fire, but I will go for a small hike to collect some water that we can filter. So we're gonna have an uncomfortable night, especially given my neck and back issues. But that's part of the fun of it, right? Got my survival kit. Nah, I should grab my backpack, huh? All right. There we go. Now I got my camera stuff so I can at least film what we're doing. I've got my survival kit from Dollar Tree. A good rule of thumb is 3 minutes for air. We got plenty of air, we're good. 3 hours for shelter. So that's gonna be our first goal. 3 days for water. So that'll be our second goal. And 3 weeks for food. So that'll be our fourth goal. This is actually a pretty good spot right here. Nice. Shelter first. I like this spot. So I'm going to open up my kit and start building. Check my back, or watch my back. Yeah, watch my back. I'm gonna start with my tarp. Watch out, Frank. I've got my twine. So I want to use my tarp as judiciously as possible. In order to do that, I'd like to have it be what goes over my head and under my back, keeping me dry all around. I'm gonna need a rock of some kind. Now that I know where I'm sleeping and I have some booby traps for anyone trying to get me, I'm gonna go ahead and make my blanket because that's gonna be very important in shelter as well. Thank you. All right, well, that's pretty warm. I can feel it heating up already. Got flashlight here, got some baked beans that I will be warming up over a fire. I've got my fire starter here. Let's see if I can light a fire without that though. I'm gonna go ahead and raise this up in a tree so nothing gets it. And then I'm gonna go figure out some water. That's the next goal. I've just got another one of these little containers here. I'm gonna empty out this bottle so I can save this water, but then I can use this as a filter. It's like wet soil, but I think it is a spring down there. All right, we've refilled my bottle. That'll end up being the filter. We've refilled Frankie's bottle, and we are on our way back. While I'm here, I'm gonna gather some rocks to make my fire pit over here. Well, I'm spilling water. I'll come back. All right, let's check here. 72 emergency water filter. 3 empty water bottles. I only have 1, Grant, sorry. We do have shelter. We've got water. And next we're just gonna worry about fire. We'll handle that in a bit. I guess technically I need a fire before I can boil this water. And I need the charcoal to be able to use in my filter. So I've got a couple of plastic bags here from the stuff that I used for my kit. So I'm gonna bring those, fill them up with some different, sand, gravel, rock, all the way down to charcoal, and we'll build our filter that way. So I'm gonna gather some supplies while I walk around real quick. This is one of the better sources I've seen for some of these just like rocks, small gravel. I've got a bottle full of small rocks and kind of dirt. I'm gonna go back down to the water, rinse it out, and then I'll use that and the rest of the stuff to make this filter. And then we'll boil that water after. All right, it's gonna take a second, but I'm gonna rinse this dirt out. Gonna work that water down, let it all get rinsed out. It's getting a lot cleaner. We're nearly there, maybe one more of those. And I'm gonna do this. Hopefully it'll capture the biggest particles. Well, maybe I can't do that yet. I'll start like this. This process is clearly not easy. Cleaning out all the debris from your filter. Honestly, from here it's pretty basic. I'm just going to dump this stuff out so that I have a pile, if I can even get it out. Actually, I gotta cut the bottom off anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. So that I have a pile, and then I'm going to restack everything in here how I want it. For $1, this knife actually isn't bad so far. We'll see. So you can survive for like 3 days without water, but you can only survive sometimes only about 3 hours without shelter. So that's why, we did this first. Priorities matter. You don't want to get hypothermia or something. Thanks to my friends once again at Model Outdoor, because this is going to be my only water. We'll get water starting to come down there. I need this to start working a little quicker. Probably should have done some gravel at the bottom. I've got some bacteria tests that I'll be using. Those will take like 48 hours, so I'm just gonna have to trust that my boiled water is sterile. I'll boil it for 3 minutes, standard practice. Again, kind of rule with freeze thing. So I'm gonna just test the before and after of the water that I sourced here. That's sealed. My water from home, 1, 2. Sodium chloride is quite high. I wonder if that's because Frankie was spitting in it. All right, now let's test the water from here. This is exactly what you would want water to look like. And then here's the one from home. That's the one from home. This is the water here, and this is the one from home next to it. They're the same. All right, now that that's done, now I gotta test my filter. Help me hang it up. Okay, is it good? How'd the filter do? All right, good girl. Let Frankie had a drink. That would be enough for me to be able to boil and have a decent drink of water in the morning. I'm not gonna do that because I let Frankie do that instead. That'll do. All right, I'm gonna need a couple things to start this fire. I'm gonna need a flat rock. I'm gonna need a kind of a bottom of a piece of bark, and I'm gonna need this stick. Got lucky and found it. It's really pointed on the end, and it's gonna be perfect. I was gonna have to sharpen one, but why not take advantage of what I found? And then I'm gonna need another branch that's a little bit more supple. Flat was wrong. I need to find one that is like a bowl almost. This is gonna work. I need my knife. I need some twine. And I've got my rock over here. I've got this piece of wood, that piece of wood, and then now I need to gather a couple of other options for, getting this started. All right, I'm gonna tie this here. Yeah, man, this stuff sucks. We can do a couple more because that is not going to be strong enough. Okay, hopefully that holds. If not, I'm going to have to remake it. Okay, now I've got a nice little bow here. I've got a stick that I can wrap my bow around. All right, now the pointy end, that's going to go right here where you want it to heat up. And then on the top, I'm just gonna hold this here and it'll roll right through that theoretically. You're effectively drilling a hole in the wood. That friction from drilling is gonna give us what we want. Maybe this guy will do the trick. All right, I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna carve this a little bit so that it sticks better. Let's try it like Castaway. It's hot. Okay, I need to get some better kindling. One sec. All right, well, I cheated. All of this stuff is too wet. All right, I got my fire going. I'm getting hungry. So I am going to open up dinner. Release some of that pressure, and I'm just gonna let this cook. I am going to eat these baked beans. And I'm actually very excited about it. I didn't have a spoon or anything, so I just bent the lid in half. You can see that. Working great. It's about 9:18. So we got a long night ahead of us. I already have lights dying. Half of my batteries are dead. Oh, I need to show you why I bought vanilla. Bugs haven't been bugging me that much, but vanilla is actually great for keeping bugs away, for mosquitoes and stuff. I usually have like a spray bottle of it for the backyard, but I can just do this. Now this is imitation, so I don't know if it's gonna work as well. It's about 11 o'clock. The temperature's actually really nice, so I'm not even using the blanket I made yet. Have a good night. See you in the morning. Okay, it's about 3:30 in the morning. Frank and I had to tend to some necessaries. And my thoughts so far on the kit are, I'm pretty cold and very uncomfortable. For somebody who has a pretty bad back, this is a difficult night. So if we want to do another one of these within the budget, will be a sleeping pad, because woo, it's a very nice place to be, and everything's working out pretty well so far, I think. So I like it. I think we should do another one of these. But with a sleeping pad for sure. What do you think, Frank? She doesn't care. She's having the best staycation of her life right now. All right. It's about 6:15, 6:30, something like that. That was cold and painful. And I will be, for the next one, planning for a pad of some kind and a blanket of some kind, at least. Those are necessary. Although my fire did great, and my water filter did great. That ran all night long. I'll show you guys. So I'm gonna bring that home and test it at home. All right, what worked and what didn't? So I got these little containers, these bowls. Those were great. Something to be able to hold things, hold water in, hold liquid in. This tablecloth I was gonna use as a poncho if I needed it. Didn't end up needing that. The bag, however, I used for charcoal, so that was kind of nice to be able to gather that, and it's not always the thing you bought, sometimes it's the thing that it comes in that works best. This knife was imperative. Worked great, no complaints, truly. I did end up using a lighter. I got impatient, the wood was a little bit wet. I'm embarrassed by that. I will light a fire without help. A flashlight was great. Batteries, obviously needed those. First aid kit, I didn't end up using this for anything. I did end up getting a scrape, however, on my shoulder. So I will open this up at the end here and we'll see if that's any good. Dollar store first aid kit. My baked beans were delicious. Vanilla worked great. I didn't eat this yet. This was gonna be my breakfast. We ended up breaking down a little bit early because I wanted to get Frank some more fresh water. This just wasn't working quick enough. I'll eat it now, yeah? Should I do that? Dr. Pepper inspired flavor. That's so bad. I'm sorry. If you like these and that was offensive to you, I'm sorry. This is so bad. Last couple of things on my list that were very helpful. The duct tape, obviously, because that's what I used for my blanket. It wasn't great. I was not super warm, if I'm being perfectly honest. Given there were no blanket options at the Dollar Tree, this was a great option. The tarp, the twine, obviously very important. You saw the structure. It was perfect for what I needed. Kept me dry. Obviously it didn't rain, but it was really great. So can you survive on a kit from the Dollar Tree? Yeah, technically. Would I want to? Not necessarily. It's not my favorite, but it is kind of amazing what you can do with just a couple of things, some ingenuity and some desperation. And if nothing else, now you know how to make a filter from charcoal, some gravel, and a bottle that is good enough to filter pee and have it taste like tap water. Drinking my filtered pee. Does not smell like pee. You saw it looked yellow. This does not look yellow. So I like my odds. That tastes like tap water. Thanks for sticking around. Go build something weird. Get a little uncomfortable, and we'll see you on the next one.